The weight loss industry is currently a $90 billion industry in the US. This tells me that a lot of people are trying to lose weight, but a lot of people are also not succeeding at it. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm a registered dietitian and health coach, and every day I work with clients who want to lose weight. And there are some mistakes I see clients making that I don't want you to make. So we're gonna go over 3 of those today. The first common mistake you might be making is not eating enough. A pretty common misconception with weight loss is that you need to eat as few calories as possible. My younger self believed this, and I see clients doing it all the time. You might have heard, hey, you need to create a calorie deficit if you're trying to lose weight. And this shifts your focus to trying to eat way less. And while it's true that a calorie deficit is required to lose body fat, there's an important balance you have to find between eating too much and not eating enough. As humans, we all have something called a basal metabolic rate. This means the number of calories required for your body to function at rest. If you aren't eating enough to get that baseline number of calories, your body isn't functioning properly. Part of this means your metabolism will slow down. This is because when your body is not receiving enough calories for its basic functioning, it goes into starvation mode to try and conserve as much energy as possible for what it thinks is an emergency. And do you know what it means for your body to be conserving extra energy? That means it's holding on to the fat tissue that you're trying to get rid of. And if that wasn't enough to convince you not to go hungry for weight loss, when you don't eat enough, your body still needs to get energy from somewhere. And one of the alternatives your body can use is protein from muscle tissue that gets broken down. So that means if you do lose weight, it's likely coming from muscle loss, which also just means that you're wasting away. And while many people think losing weight from muscle is acceptable because they have this weight loss at any cost mentality, it's actually super unhealthy and concerning to be losing muscle mass. I personally promote healthy, sustainable weight loss that you can have without losing your love for food. So this sort of mentality is just not what I'm here for, and I hope that you can see how damaging it is. So to recap, the first mistake you might be making that's keeping you from losing weight is that you're not eating enough. If you aren't eating enough for your body to function properly, your metabolism will decrease, you will hold on to fat tissue, and your muscle tissue might begin to break down. This is the exact opposite of what we want and can achieve through a healthy weight loss. The second mistake you might be making is trying to change too many things about your lifestyle all at once. I know I have done this one too many times when I was younger, and I have learned from personal experience and from coaching for 3 years now that motivation is like a roller coaster. And when you're at the top of that roller coaster and feeling really gung-ho about making lifestyle changes, it's really tempting to try to change 30,000 things about your lifestyle all at once. Because when you're at the top of that motivation roller coaster, for some reason, you never believe that you're going to go back down again. But I think we all know that what goes up must come down, even in this roller coaster metaphor. I'm sure that we can all think about a time where we were super motivated for about 2 weeks and we were making all these changes, we were doing all this exercise, we were eating green juice every day and no sugar at all. But after about 2 weeks, you completely gave up at changing your lifestyle because it was just too hard. This is why I emphasize baby steps with all of my clients. When we set goals, especially for the first time, we set 1 to 3 max, and they are small and realistic goals. And I mean small. For example, if someone is only drinking 16 ounces of water per day, our first goal might be to drink 32 ounces of water 4 days a week. And you might be asking, why would you set this as a goal if the average person needs around 64 ounces of water per day? They're not going to be drinking enough. And the reason that I do that is because I know that Susie is not all of a sudden going to start drinking 4 times the amount of water she normally drinks every single day just because we set it as a goal. If we set the goal at 64 ounces, she will likely try for a few days and she might even hit it a couple times, but she will most likely not be able to do it every single day, and then she's gonna feel really discouraged. And this is the sort of experience that makes people want to give up on their goals. I want to avoid this at all costs. So we start with small baby goals, and guess what? When Susie reaches those goals, we can build from there. And guess what else? Susie gets a confidence boost. She believes that she can do even more just because she drank that 32 ounces of water 4 days a week. And let me tell you, there is nothing more helpful in coaching someone to change their lifestyle than that person believing they can do it. They can have all the resources in the world, and if they don't believe they can do it, they just won't do it. So instead of trying to become a completely new person overnight, slowly begin to make healthy lifestyle changes over time. And if you need help doing this, I actually have an entire free webinar training on this that you can find on my website. It is called Habit Building for Sustainable Weight Loss, and it walks you through the entire process. And if you want even more support than that, you can work with me one-on-one through my nutrition and health coaching services. There is a link to my website down below you can click on to find out more about that. And the third mistake you might be making that is keeping you from losing weight is cutting out or severely limiting your carbohydrates. Now, look, I understand that the keto diet and low carb is a super popular fad right now, specifically for weight loss. And yes, you or someone you know may have lost weight on the keto diet. However, I've said it before and I will say it again. Low carb is not necessary for weight loss, and it's not a healthy strategy for weight loss. Let's unpack this a little bit. First, let's talk about how low carb is not necessary for weight loss. You may already know that if you eat too many carbs, you can gain or hold on to weight. But did you know that the same goes for if you eat too much protein or too much fat? This is simply because if you eat an excess amount of any of the macronutrients, you are also consuming excess calories. And this will either keep you out of a calorie deficit or in a calorie surplus. So yeah, it's true, we don't want to eat too many carbs, but that doesn't mean we have to jump to the extreme of eating little to no carbs. What if we just ate a normal, healthy amount of them? I will also say, from my experience with coaching clients, usually it's not carbs that they're consuming too much of. It's actually more often fats that are giving them this calorie excess. That's because we put fats with carbs to make them taste good. For example, salad dressing on a salad, butter on your toast, guacamole in your burrito. Also, as a dietitian, I was taught to give clients and patients the least restrictive diet possible. So if I know it's possible to lose weight without cutting out carbs, I'm gonna suggest you continue eating a regular amount of carbs. And it's gonna be a lot more fun, enjoyable, and realistic for you. My next argument here is that cutting out carbs is actually not a very healthy way to lose weight. And the reason for that is because carbohydrates perform a variety of super important functions in our bodies. For example, glucose that we get from carbohydrates is a very important energy source for our bodies. Every single cell in our body uses glucose to function, and our brains almost exclusively use glucose for energy. Carbs also provide us with essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber that are very crucial for different functions of our bodies. Eating enough carbs makes sure that our bodies are not breaking down our muscle tissues for energy, and the fiber you'll find in a lot of carbohydrates helps to reduce bad cholesterol and promote digestive health. It's recommended by the USDA that 45 to 65% of your total calories for the day come from carbohydrates, and this recommendation doesn't change if you're trying to lose weight. So Just to recap, here are the 3 mistakes you might be making that are keeping you from losing weight. Number 1, you might not be eating enough. Number 2, you're trying to change too many things about your lifestyle all at once. And number 3, you're not eating enough carbohydrates. If you found this video helpful, or if any questions came up for you, please let me know in the comments down below, or you can head over to my Instagram account at nutritionundefined and shoot me a direct message over there. As I mentioned before, you can learn more about how to lose weight through the process of habit building by going to the free webinar on my website. The link is down below. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.